Because we know that successful agents build a database. We know that they feed it every day. We know that they communicate in a systematic way, and we know that they service all the leads that come your way. So if we know that for a fact, then what do we need to do to make it happen? So we create E-Edge. So if you're not using E-Edge, get on it, use it, and learn it. I know you guys are like 100%.
Yes.
Yes.
Activation. Yes. 25% on 23 touch.
Yes, that's awesome. I mean, that's awesome. That's cool. So we need to get to 75% more people.
We're working on
right?
it.
Good job, guys. That's awesome. So 20% of your database can lead to 80% of your business. So now I want you to think of your own individual database right now. And I want you to think of the number that's in it. I want you to take 20% of that. How many deals is that per year? 300. Are you doing 300 deals a year?
No.
Okay. How many deals? Does anyone else have a number of database? Take 20%. How many deals that is?
40.
Anybody?
Yep.
How many?
Mine's 40.
40. Have you done 40 deals?
Yeah, I am. 5 months. She will. 5 months.
Soon you can do it. Absolutely. So when you look at your database, understand if you're not getting 20% of that, because that's the law, right? That's the rule. That's nature's rule. We didn't create it. It just is what it is. Then are you communicating in a systematic way, and are you servicing all these from your way? Because you need to look at those things, because those things matter. Build a database. It's not just a database of servicing clients. It's the business of finding clients to service. True. The size of your real estate business over time will be in direct proportion to the size and quality of your database. Not the size of your database, the size and quality of your database. I went to a did sweat hogs. Floyd Wickham program, and I sat down with my database in a Floyd Wickham program, and I had, I was proud, I was straight up, it's great. There's like 1,200 people in it, successful real estate agent, and then he went step by step through with me, destroying my database. And when I walked out of that room, I had a database of less than 100 people in it. And it was an eye-opener for me, because I didn't have the tools that we have today, and I looked at it and I said, wow, that's not very much of a database. And he said, well, that's what you got, so you have to go build more. Because it's about the people that we talk to every day. Just because their names are in our computer doesn't mean that we're communicating with them. It's because he went through the steps and said, hey, I want you to remove people you haven't done any transactions with in a year, or any conversation with in a year. Okay, now let's do it down. And if we're not communicating with them every month, then you're going to get this. Hey, this is Jarrod Davis, Keller Williams. And they're going to go, what? Jarrod who? And if they're going Jarrod who, then guess what? They're not in your database. They're what I would consider a haven't met. Right? You might consider them a met, but see, it's not about what you consider them, it's about what they consider you. So understand how important that the quality of your database is. So if you have a database, go through it, make your calls every day and call them. You have a database of how many? Just speaking of, I'm trying to pick that. Even though I would.
1,800.
1,800. You have a database of 1,800. How many calls can you do in an hour?
4.
4 calls in an hour?
She likes to talk.
That's true, we did meet for a while. Okay, so that's forever. So how many hours? You're going to say 3 hours. So 3 to 4 is 12. So let's take 1,800 divided by 12. You got 150 days of calling that, right? Already booked. Good. But that's the reality of those databases, right? I mean, for as many people as you have, you can make those calls. You have people to contact and call and talk to them about. Sometimes in revisiting those calls, and he said, if you want to grow your database from 100 back up to 1,200, then you pick up that phone and you call all the people over here and reintroduce yourself to them. And find out who they know, want to buy or sell. Once you reintroduce yourself to them, then I'll let you put them back over here. But until you do that, they're not going in your database. Plain and simple. So then I just went from being really successful to being not really successful because I didn't have the result. And that's because I didn't lead generate every day. All right, so these are people that you could have in your database. So if you don't have a database or you want to build your database, there's all kinds of people in here. So understand and where they come from. This is your website. FSBOs, expires, open house visitors, friends. I mean, I have a sheet that that they gave us, and it's 100 people. They said, well, if you don't have a database, we're going to give you a sheet. You're going to build one right here today. And that sheet had 100 people on it that you know, and all of you know those 100 people. You know, they're related to you. You do business with them every day. Blah blah blah. And is that how you think as real estate agents? See, as a team leader for recruiting for me, people always laugh at me, but the truth of the matter is when I'm at an event with real estate agents, that's all I think about. It doesn't mean that's all I'm doing, but it's all I think about. Every activity I have is about that. That's what it's about. And for you in real estate, because you guys are in business for yourselves, when you go places and do things, that's what you think about. It doesn't mean you are going crazy on people. It just means that's what you think about. But who are your friends? Who are you talking to? Do they know you're in real estate? Do your neighbors even know you're in real estate? You live next door to them in a house. Do they know you're in real estate? See, because I can promise you a lot of them don't. A lot of them truly don't even know you're in real estate. So if they're going to sell their house, you know how you're going to know they're going to sell their house? Because another for sale sign is going to come up on your yard. You're going to go, they're my neighbors! How could they do that to me? You know, and it's because they didn't even know you were in real estate. I coached a lady, very successful lady in Orlando, very big business. Her best friend put their house up for sale to somebody else, and she came in one day and she said, I got a big problem. I said, what's that problem? She said, last night I went over to my friend's house and she had her house for sale, or she was putting her house up for sale. I said, well, that's great. And she said, but it wasn't with me. And I said, well, why not? She said, because I asked her why it wasn't with me. She said, because I never asked her. And I said, what'd that tell you? That you should ask her. So just because you think that they know you're in real estate, don't think that they know you're in real estate. Don't think that they wouldn't go somewhere else because they don't know you're in real estate. See, they're not hurting you. They just are doing it out of you not being able to lead generation talk to them. So ask the people, ask who they know all the time. Follow up on a phone call, and those phone calls are going to be short. Jarrod Davis Finding, how to do a short phone call to your best friend. All right. Hey, this is Jarrod from Keller Williams. Oh, I don't even need to say that. Hey, this is Jarrod. And he'll go, hey, and I said, listen, today's call is just about business, so it's just going to be real short and simple. Who do you know that wants to buy or sell real estate? Oh, you don't know anyone. So no one at your job? Come on, you're my friend. All right, great. So I'm going to call you back next week. Do you mind looking for someone for me? Thanks. That's a short phone call to a friend. You're going to start off with, hey, I'm going to do it. It's about business. This isn't about me talking about you and Sally swimming in the pool. This is about business, and they'll shut up. That's the greatest part. When you say this is about business, they'll stop talking. They will. It's about how you say it. You know, they'll stop talking when they say it's about business. They all of a sudden are going to go, about business. Why is Jarrod telling me about business? Try it. Try it with your friends tonight when you go home. Pick up the phone and just try and call your friends. Because they like to hear from you, right? I mean, so you don't got to worry about this scary phone because they're going to like to hear from you. And just start off the conversation with that simple line. Today's just about business. They'll shut up instantly because they're like, what? And then you'll be able to ask them, who do you know want to buy or sell home? And they probably will say no to that. But then you say, come on, you can help me find somebody. Those are the great. I mean, how many of you got a referral for a listing? Aren't they the greatest? I love referrals. If you don't ask for them, you don't get them. All right, these are your groups. General public and your target group are your habit match. What does that mean?
Your farming area?
Could be farm area, could be people you don't know, could be ads you run in the paper, could be stories you run about you, could be, any of that stuff. It could be, But those are people you don't know. So sometimes it's hard to determine how many of those people you touch. How many of those people do you want to touch? As many as you can, as cheap as possible. That's the reality. You don't know them, so you just want to touch them. This down, and does anyone know out of the red book, what's the ratio on habit mix? 1 in every 50. So for every 50 habit met, you're going to have 1 transaction. Okay, so let's talk about how you really build your business, right? Because down here, there's this group called the Mets, and it's not about baseball. I don't know if Mets.
Yes.
It just sounded good, and I thought it was smart, but it really wasn't. I thought it was that. What's the ratio on Mets?
1 or 10?
12. 1 and 12. No, 2 and 12. 2 and 12. For every 12 people that you really seriously have in your Met database, which is the database we just spoke about, you get 2 transactions. 1 from them and a referral. Okay, So understand that this group down here is powerful. So when you're lead generating every day, it's comfortable sometimes to call people you've met. It's easy. If you're big up front of cold calling, I'm not telling you not to do that because I think that's the greatest thing in the world. Because what are you doing? You're building your mentor from heaven. However, if you're a little bit afraid to cold call people, if you're a little bit afraid to hear no, which most of us are, then find this group of people that you can call. Find them. I used to have a little lady that I sold her lakefront house. Kind of a bad story at the very beginning because she was getting divorced. I was selling her house and they were splitting it, but it was a lakefront house and we became really good friends. She bought a little condo in a development, you know, and I sold her that condo. That was our relationship. I sold her house. I did really good. She was, the truth of the matter is, she just was a real estate agent. I sold it to her sister. But so it makes me cool. We sold it, got her in our condo, and we just built a relationship with her. Every time I picked up the phone to call her, I would say, "Hey, I don't know, saw a house, the speech, right?" Her answer to me would be somebody, or it would be, "Jarrod, I'm going to find somebody for you this week. What I'm going to do is walk around the neighborhood. I'm going to go to the pool." And she would call me back within 2 days of the name. Who was she? She was without a doubt a lady that was in my core. I took her to Denny's like you wouldn't believe. She loved Denny's, and we went to Denny's, and you wouldn't believe. And every time I go to Denny's, she'd either have a list of names for me, or she'd have a plan of action, even in writing for me. This is what I'm going to do. And I'm like, great. You know, and we built a real, and that was nothing more than building a relationship. She was a stranger to me. I sold her house. But we built a relationship over time, and I called and asked the question, and she wanted to help me, because most of the people that know you, they want to help you. They do. I can promise you, your sisters, your brothers, your mothers, your fathers, your sons, they want to help you. They want to help you succeed. But if you never ask for their help, you're not going to ever get it. So when I'm talking about lead generation, I'm trying to unscare you from doing a little bit of it. Because most people don't. And you guys admitted that most of you don't do it. So it's okay to call your brother and ask him that question. Right? It's okay to let him know you're in real estate. Well, my brother listed his house on Grapevine here in Ottawa. And here I'm a real estate broker. Where did he sell it? At Keller Williams. Right, he sold it at Keller Williams. Because it didn't work on Grapevine. No, it didn't sell on Grapevine. And then he listed the Keller Williams station and it sold. So I went, ha! Because I can't, he's my brother.
You heard the guy that invented for sale by owner listed his house with real estate.
Oh, did you?
2 weeks ago.
Well, come on, we know it doesn't work. I mean, the reality of it is, you know, you can invent something. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I mean, you see him on TV all the time. You see him on TV. I mean, if it doesn't work, it just, you know, it's not going to help you open that jar. It doesn't. So it lasts for 400 sales and then it goes away. I mean, Home Shopping Network's full of those great things, but they don't work, so they don't stick. Well, if they work, they stick.
Yeah.
Right. Those don't work. I mean, it can for some, but not very often. The types of business mess. So anyway, this is what I was talking about earlier because I got ahead of myself, which I normally do. When you talk about the 12 and 2 and the 50 and 1, I mean, when you're looking at Mets, look at all the business you get: repeat, referrals, and new. Have at Mets, you're going to get new. Eventually, when I say eventually, you are going to get referrals. You may get a referral cold calling someone you don't have met, or you may get, hey, I saw this ad, call me. That's why the line's dotted. Because you may, I'm not saying you would never do that, but the truth of the matter is if you're going to focus on somebody right now, today, to change your business, to make a difference today, focus on your Mets. I'm not saying don't focus on having Mets, because farming, doing all that stuff, that's important because why? What's the number one law? Feed the database. We need to continuously feed the database. But you can feed database through Mets, through referrals, and it's the best. It's the best. So let's talk about sources. And write some of these sources down. Because if you don't have them, and you haven't talked to them, write them down. Have you talked to your family? And is your family in your database? See, I can promise most of your family's not in your database. Is that true? How many people have all their family in their database? So half of you. That's okay. So now for the other half, I just helped you feed your database. Because does your family buy homes? Act like it's really commissions off my brothers. It's not even funny. Right? It's true. You know, it's true. I mean, it's what it is. My family buys homes. It's okay. It's great. Your family buys homes. I can promise you they all do. It's okay. Friends.